did. Oh my god, bruh. And they did not want me to come up here. Hopefully y'all can see me okay. It's a little dark though. I don't like using my phone. 1 second. Get it together. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get y'all together. This live. I was like, no one already told us not to come up on live for a couple of days. Alright. We're back. And they was like, oh, you're not gonna tell the story. I'm like, yeah, the fuck I am. These little rituals, man. They just trying to see how bad do you want to be up here? How bad do you want it? I don't need it that bad, but I need it. You know what I mean? It was like, Jesus Christ. Literally. Like, shit. Let me just come up here. I'm up here. It's like nothing we can do about it. Unless I decide to stop. And only I decide when I'm done. Nobody else's. I just got here. I just woke up. That's the whole trending thing that I'm trying to do. Saying, I just woke up. We got to tell ourselves, we just got here. It's going to take time. And I got all the time in the world now. Since I got my time back. But, yeah, like I was saying before I got rudely interrupted by the fucking internet. The internet needs to do better. I was telling y'all how my ancestors was trying to come in terms with my sexuality. So I've been doing some shadow work behind closed doors, getting rid of like addiction, old addiction, things that no longer serve my purpose anymore, because I don't need to do the things that I used to do. Hello, welcome on in, Gabriel. Happy birthday. I wish I can give you something for your birthday, honestly. You should get a rose. Just get a rose. Get you some flowers, okay? And that's my best advice. Do something nice for yourself for your B-Day. But I hope you're doing well, and I hope you enjoy your B-Day coming. Oh, it's your stepmom's. Yeah, get her a rose. Get her a rose. To show, like, you know, appreciation and love, because, you know, she might like that. I don't know your mom personally, but I feel she might like the rose. But 1 second, y'all. Okay, I'm back. But I'm trying to buy my stepmom rose or get her a rose. Oh, a rose toy. Okay. Are you talking about like a sexual rose toy? I don't know. Okay, do both. If you have the budget for it, do both. Don't just limit yourself. This is the thing, because we be limiting ourselves for no reason. Why? She might like both. Like, trust me, she might like both. But as I was saying earlier, I'm coming into terms with my sexuality and the things that I have been encountering, going back through my past and clearing out my past. I'm starting to realize it wasn't just me in the situation. I'm learning from both ends of everything, and it's been it's been a weird journey. I'm gonna tell you that it's weird because I knew that I had the gift. It's just my grandma told me, like, if I would have came into my gifts earlier, I could have solved and saved a lot of problems, saved a lot of issues. And it's like now that I'm coming into my gift and sharing my gift to people and my peers, it's like it's weird for me now. I was so used to being closed and being in toxic situations, and me actually learning to ascend out of it while also helping the people around me in the situation ascend from it and learn from it. it's it's very strange, and I'm still quite not um oh shit, it is vibrating. Okay, I'll get back to you with that situation for a minute, but it's like we are coming into an age of actually being free, of being ourselves, saying what's on our mind, having good intentions towards people, having good goals and good intention towards ourselves. And our ancestors kind of, they show gratitude for that because they didn't have certain courages that they had, going through their situation and trying to find their enlightenment. And it's like they're learning from us to be in their own enlightenment, because like life is too short. We're gonna make mistakes because we're only humans. Well, we're spirits having a human experience, so we don't quite know what life is really about or what this journey is about, because everybody's journey is different and everybody's life and everybody's situation is different. But the only way for us to kind of heal ourselves from certain situations is by literally removing ourselves from our point of view and start going walking into other people's point of view, other people's, consciousness of how they are developing in the situation. Most people don't quite just learn just yet, and they wonder why they're stuck in limbo all the fucking time or purgatory all the fucking time. It's because they're not recognizing what makes them suffering, what's causing them to suffer. What's causing you to suffer is really you. You are your biggest holdback sometimes, or you are your biggest blockages. And to unblock all those blockages, you have to really yell at spirit. You have to really tell spirit to move, and you have to really tell ego to face the things that it done, because that is the only way for us to acknowledge that we are all on the same boat to trying to get some type of enlightenment on our situation. And I feel like spirituality is a beautiful place, a beautiful mindset to be in, because it's coming to knowing of who and what you are and what you're capable of. So for a while, it's just like I'm like, I gave myself an epiphany. Like, why did I allowed all that shit to happen? And my grandma was like, she was telling me things how I stayed in it because I knew I can face it. I knew I can overcome these challenges. So she was telling me like these life lessons, these stories is gonna help you later on in life. And I'm starting to realize how it's really helping me. And it's gonna help others too if I just come up up here on this platform and just tell the truth, even from my own perspective of what I think is good and bad. It might look ugly to some, and it might look beautiful to most. So it's gonna take me some time to actually like break down these levels of understanding of your own true enlightenment, because I'm coming into my own true enlightenment. Every time I think I'm in my enlightenment, no, you still got to continue learning afterwards. There's something else outside of that element. It's something outside of light. And there's something outside of darkness. And there's something inside of both of them. And I'm just trying to explore as much as possible, because life is too short. Life is very too short. And this movement that we are doing is trying to get people to be themselves. You know, stop trying to hide yourself. Stop trying to hide and stop trying to be afraid of being you. Come into your power, come into your gifts, come into your knowing, come into the all knowing of you. Only you know you. And I can only help you, guide you to you, but only you can guide you to you. I can help you understand why you went through such and such, why you got attacked, or because I've been through certain similarities, or my ancestors have as well. And, they give me the download of how to help you navigate that situation. And when you are in purgatory, if you're still in limbo, if you're still in suffering, make the best out of it. You can create a world within a world when you're in hell. And you don't have to stay in hell for a long time. Or you don't have to stay in hell at all. It's when you recognize that it's not just you in the wrong, and it's not just the other person in the wrong, and you start to understand things are just miscommunicated. Things are not connecting. Okay. So we need to understand what gives us that connection, what brings us that enlightenment, that understanding. You don't really need all these books to understand yourself. Those who know history tends to repeat itself. And once you understand that history tends to repeat itself, what are you going to do with that information? Are you going to expand your consciousness like how some of these gods and goddesses are doing right now? They are expanding within us. It's up to us to unlock that certain ability that these gods and goddesses or our ancestors, or when I'm talking about like gods and goddesses or God or Jesus or the Christianity Bible, I'm talking about like energy aspect. Energy. Because they are all energy within us, and we're also energy within them. So we kind of like operate on the same level as them. But it's like one party cannot really solve their issues quick enough than the other party. So they kind of like try to create this child who can like solve everything for them. And they thought I was going to be that child to solve everything for them. And it's like I don't want to give them the wrong answers either. And I don't want to give myself the wrong answers either. And it's like, I'd rather take my time up here than to try to, gain attention, or even though it takes a lot to gain attention for people to be aware of you. So you kind of need to balance it out. So that's what I'm like trying to like balance out my desires and needs and wants, because it's like, okay, I want to come up here and teach, and I also want the attention. I also want the praise and glory because it's in my name, it's coded in my DNA, and I can show y'all. And I've been learning about my ancestors' natal charts And I'm wondering where some of my, I noticed where some of my gifts are coming from. And I'm noticing some of the things that they didn't quite face just yet. So it's up to me help them face them. But it's like, who's really doing the work now? Is it us or them? Are we still taking on their karma or like their bullshit? Is that why we had like all that weird shit happening to us when we was younger or now? Some of us might be going through some weird ass shit and don't know why. And if you want me to help you out on your natal chart, I can do that. Just shoot me out an email. My email is myeshathomas95@gmail.com. myeshathomas95@gmail.com. I can help you out on your natal chart, um, especially your ancestors' natal chart too. So if you know your ancestors like history, like where they're from, where they're born, what time they was born and stuff, I'm gonna need your time and date as well to figure out, help you navigate yourself in the star system. Because I've been going back into astrology. I can't say that shit for nothing. Astrological. Okay, you know what I mean. I've been studying it again. I stopped studying it for a while, but I don't know what happened. I just recently went back, and I this recent was literally like a year ago or two, and I've just been on and off studying it because it's not really my strongest subject, and it's getting stronger, but I'm starting to understand it. But yeah, so if you want me to help you out on your natal chart, just shoot me out an email or a text message. My phone number is also underneath the video. And so I'm gonna get a little bit started on this. So in order for me to like really pull on, okay, some of these visions that I am having, these are like kind of like old memories that I had like a long time ago, or like old visions that I have a long time ago. It's just not now they're resurfacing and recleansing and reviving itself. They are, what I mean by they, I mean by the elites or my ancestors. When I'm speaking of they, them, they are now allowing me to access these memories again. For a while, I wasn't able to access them. And the only way for me to really truly access these old visions or old memories of my ancestors, I had to realign myself with my ancestors. So, and how I did that was through shadow work, talking to my ancestors about the things that was going on in my reality, because my reality was shutting me down from them. And the only way for me to reawakening them and also myself is by telling the truth of what I've been doing in my life or how I've been handling certain situations. And as of lately, I've been telling the truth about how I've been trying to escape my reality. And the ways that I would escape is through men. So this is where the term of my sexuality is coming into play. That's when they was telling me I need to stop relying on certain men around me. My grandmother doesn't like when I'm around men. She doesn't like how they treat me. Or she doesn't like how I allow people to take advantage of me or how I allow them to take advantage of me. And I'm learning to set boundaries by understanding what boundary really truly means, because for a while I didn't understand what boundary is or how to set up boundaries. And a lot of times when my boundaries are getting crossed by men around me, not all men are like this. Not all men are equals to what I am saying. It's just those toxic ass men that I was around with kind of like shut me down on my gifts because they was afraid of me, and I was also afraid of my gift every time it kept reopening itself. So when I finally decided to come into my gift is when I want to say about like a couple of years ago, maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago. But then after those 3 years of reawakening, is like I wasn't still quite just ready to come up here to share my story, because I don't know how people are gonna take it. Or I don't know how I'm gonna take it. Be like, damn, you stupid ass. Like, you could have just done something different, instead of just going in that route. But it's life. Life is a journey. You live and you learn, and you can't really beat yourself up that easily or all the time for things that you had no control over or you didn't know. And I kept telling people now, or like back then and now, it's like I'm an open book. I don't mind sharing you my sins or what I thought it was sins, or to help you get through your sins and help you to get through your own purgatory. So, and that's why I'm like trying to tell y'all can use other avatars within yourself. You don't necessarily have to stay in one particular place and time in your consciousness. You really don't. You can expand your consciousness outside of you and inside of you, like wherever it might go. And I learned that a couple of years ago as well on my journey, is connecting my consciousness to other people's consciousness. But then one time I accidentally slipped up and stayed inside somebody's consciousness, meaning I was in somebody's reality for like a whole year. And then when I came back to my own goddamn reality, everything was fucked up. I woke up, I was like, oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. And then I had to clear out everything. It was a lot of clearing, and there's still a lot of clearing going on. So, yeah, as I was learning, I'm learning about myself. I'm learning about people around me too, because I can't just always see the half glass, half full type of situation. I have to see everything above and everything below of it. I just have to go through that dark night of the soul type thing. And then the dark night of the soul is a beautiful place too. I don't know why people are so fear of it, or so fearful, or so scared to walk through that path, because you cannot get to your heaven without understanding your hell. And my hell is kind of like my heaven, or I made it my heaven, you know? Like, once you start to learn how people move around you and what they do to you, or for you, or not even for you, then you as the creator of your world, you have the right to say, do I want this or do I not want this? And then create another world, you know? And it's all about exploring what you can do with your mind, the power of your mind, the power of your heart, the power of you. Rely on you. Anything that you put out, something outside of you to believe in, take that same as energy to put within you. And if you're noticing how people are trying to stop you from from your destiny, then you know you are fully chosen. And how you know if people are trying to stop you from your destiny, you start to get all these little simulation rituals, simulation like rituals. And it's gonna get deeper and deeper the more you expand your consciousness and you try to, something is literally gonna physically remove you, relocate you. I'm always being relocated. And it's gonna put you, it depends on how you're being guided and how you're listening to your guides. Call on your guides, call on your ancestors during those times when you are being isolated or removed or relocated. Those things of the chosen ones are very real. And we literally have to take these things very seriously. But then again, you don't necessarily have to take spirituality very serious because it's a life journey. It's be lucid within it, you know. Create your own world within the world. And if you don't like something, just change it up. It used to, well, I used to feel that way. I understand what you mean by that. Like, relocation means death, but it's not death. Death is a rebirth. That feeling that you have right now is a rebirth. That, you know, that I know that feeling you're feeling, okay? It's not an easy feeling to like let go of at all. It's hard to, it's you really trying to detox yourself from an old program that you no longer serve under. So you were so used to a certain particular program, a way of living. You were so used to people telling you what to do, what to say, how to act, how to live, how to walk, how to breathe. And now you're coming into your own existence of how to walk and how to live and how to breathe. You don't really know the things that you are, I'm guessing, how can I put it? I'm guessing the things that you are experiencing, you don't know how to truly like take on what's happening to you until you are in a better location, a better like situation. So it's not a feeling of death. You're not actually literally, it might take a physical death for most people, but then it's not truly like a physical death. It's just a removal of the old system that no longer serves you. So you're walking into a better version of you, or a better, however you want to put it. It's totally up to you. Cause it took me a while to like find a better version of myself, because every version of myself that I kept trying to become or to be, something was feeling like it was missing. I always felt like something was missing within. And I know a lot of us feel that way. Every time we revive ourselves, renew ourselves, we still feel like something is missing. I think I know myself the most better than anyone else knows me. That is true. That is true. Only you know you. Can nobody else know you? Only you know what's best for you and what's not. And we need to, like, I'm trying to get people to understand, like, you can't, you can suggest somebody an idea, or suggest somebody, hey, you can do this better, but it's totally up to you how you use that information to program your mind, reprogramming yourself, realigning with yourself. And it takes years to actually understand what it means to truly go within and be thyself. Yes, you can always remind them to remind to remember themselves, you know. I totally agree. I'm trying to get started on the going through the mind things, but I needed to do some shadow work because normally when I'm coming up here too, I'm also doing shadow work and letting y'all know I'm understanding certain shit in life. I might not know the terms, but I can just describe to you of what it is that I am learning or experiencing within life. But yeah. So in this so in this library, the Freemasons knew that it hold scared knowledge, and in this place, our ancestors, the only way we're able to have these memories or these particular, like within our clairvoyant, is if our ancestors have been through that particular time period or that time frame. So um, let me get a little started, and then I'm gonna end this live a little bit later. I'm gonna end it a little bit. Okay. The only way for us to access certain memories if our ancestors had walked through these buildings, or whether it's subconsciously or a physical walk in, like they've been through that time period or they was working in or like something like that. My ancestors, when they was in in this particular library, that's where they did all their astronomy, all their spiritual work. And I realized some of our ancestors was trying to create the emerald tablet. So now that when I saw this emerald tablet, it was sitting like on a stand, on like a book stand, or like, one of those preachers, pastor, when the pastor comes up and they're on a stand or whatever. It was on that. And the emerald book was just like on top of it. And inside of this building, there was a tree. And this particular tree helps me to always navigate where my ancestors are. It's the tree of knowledge, and there's also another tree. I just figured out what tree it is because it's the same tree that's in my natal chart. So I can't quite say the word. I can possibly spell it out. I don't know. It starts with a C. It's a tree, and every time I would see this particular tree, whether it was in movies, TV shows, my ancestors will always show me what they gone through in the life. And this particular building holds doors within doors, Uh, each door had a different type of reality within it. And I was able to access certain doors because certain ancestors walked into it. And when when I was able to access certain doors, I was able to access certain memories. And when one time when my reality was like so fucked up, like very, very fucked up, to the point I couldn't get out of shit. I couldn't get out of this situation. I accidentally destroyed a particular door that my ancestors needed. It's not funny, but it's fucked up. It's funny how I just did that shit without realizing the consequences of destroying a door within the astral world of what happens to you. now it's like I'm rebuilding it. I'm helping them rebuild it, especially through AI. AI is also helping rebuild this particular door. And the door is on the thumbnail. That's the same door and everything. And inside this door is where like my ancestors was able to travel in between realms, this realm and their world. And I don't know what made me destroyed it, but I know when I look into it now, as of today, it's like it's picking itself back up, like it's reversing itself back into place, like reversing a movie or something. And every time I'll enter, it will like reverse, and and then I started to see more and more of other ancestors. Maybe some of y'all ancestors are in this as well. And I will see them like trying to like write down things and information and creating things in that world. And that's where we get most of our ideas from. But then that's how we like enter the world and shit and getting information. And yeah, so this world is slowly putting itself back up, slowly. So um I'm gonna leave it there for right now because I literally gotta go, and I'll come back with part two. So don't worry, I'm gonna come back with part two. I have a lot going on to do today, and I realized the time, and I'm like, it's half hour already. So other than that, I'm gonna catch y'all next time on this story. Feel free to hit that like button, that subscribe button, donate if you want to. Information is all underneath the video, and I'll catch y'all on my next one.